Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today we're going to talk about Bitcoin, and we're going to be looking at where we are, what we might expect over the next few weeks or months. So if you guys like the content, please subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and also check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. Let's go ahead and jump in. So what we're actually looking at here is a daily time frame, and the only reason we're looking at this is because, well, the price of Bitcoin is moving up quite quickly. Now, we normally show things on a weekly time frame, and I think weekly time frames are much more important. However, when Bitcoin is moving up quickly, I do like to pull up the 20-day moving average from time to time. I do not think the 20-day moving average is that important because even when it's not held as support, it can still turn around relatively quickly. You can see it did it here, it did it here. However, when Bitcoin is very bullish, like in 2019, you can see that there were times where it did seem to hold some level of support, right? And you can see here's another run back in February where the 20-day moving average was some level of support. Even here, we bounced off of it a few times, right? You can see that several times. And going below it, though, is really not the end of the world. It's not that important. But recently, we also moved sideways into it. So the 20-day moving average is currently at 13,376. Now, this level obviously could easily break, and Bitcoin could still remain very bullish because, as we know, if we look at the 20-week moving average, right, which is arguably way more important than any daily, a 20-day moving average, you can see that the 20-day moving average, or the 20-week moving average, is now at 11,149. And this is important because we're approaching the prior 20-week moving average all-time high. We are about to cross it, in fact. So this is pretty remarkable that we are about to cross this level. And I feel like this is a key part of the market cycle where we have a period of significant upwards movement. But recognize that when things do move up this quickly, there will come a time where it will correct back down some. It doesn't mean that it's going to go back down to 10K. It certainly does not mean that we have to fill that CME gap that I've been saying for months now that we don't need to fill. But just recognize that the 20-week moving average is currently at 11,149. And the reason why this is important is because historically, as we've said before, this is our bull market support. In a bull market, the 20-week moving average is our bull market support. And here we are. We held it as support, which is great, right? This was great. Back then, we said if we hold it as support, Bitcoin can turn around very quickly. The market sentiment can change on a dime, and it did. Back over here, a lot of people were thinking we're gonna crash back down. We're gonna go back to 9,600, which wouldn't have been a crash. It would be fill the CME gap, which we said does not need to happen. People saying that we had to go back to $3,500 to fill the 4-hour gap, which was also ridiculous. And here we are. And now the FOMO is coming out, right? Now people are saying 20K by the end of the year, which would have been somewhat absurd to think about just a few weeks ago. Now, is it possible that Bitcoin hits 20K by the end of the year? Of course it is. Of course it is. Bitcoin's been moving up. It's moved up 50% over the last month. It's at $15,000. If it were to move up another 50%, it would have put it at like $23,000 because it's currently at around like 15. Well, I guess it's not 15.6. It's 15.3. This just shows daily closes. So if it were to move another 50% up over the next, say, 6 weeks, then we would be above $20,000. Now, if that were to happen, I would contend that we are in a bubble territory. We are currently in bubble territory. Generally speaking, I do have the risk levels that I use to identify bubbles. You can also look at the regression band, the logarithmic regression band, and say, you know what, when it's better to be purchasing Bitcoin when we're within the regression band. And we talked about this for a really long time, saying that, when we do come out of the regression band, people will look back and be like, man, I wish I had bought more in this level. I wish I had bought more. It's always, I wish I'd bought more. But if you just have a systematic strategy of DCAing Bitcoin, especially when it's in the regression band, you can go forward and say, you know what, I did what I could, and I have the position that I'm comfortable with. We'll see where it takes me. So now that Bitcoin has started moving up rather quickly, we can say, you know what, it looks like it's definitely in bubble mode. You can see if we were to draw a trend angle, which by the way depends on the aspect ratio. The one from 2019 was about a 68% incline, and the one we've just seen recently is also about that same level, about 70 degrees. This will we will see a correction at some point. It's not meant to scare people because even in bull markets, we will have corrections back to the 20-week. Sometimes they don't go to the 20-week, but oftentimes we do have corrections back to the 20-week. As we said, the 20-week moving average is at 11,149. I know some people prefer to also look at the 21 EMA, so we'll go ahead and put that on here as well. So let's add the EMA and let's remove the regression band so we can get a clearer idea of what's going on. And let's remove some of this stuff so we can more easily see it. This is our bull market support band. If we break this band, it's the bad news bears in the short term. They're not angry bears. I think the angry bears will come out once Bitcoin gets back to the top of the regression band, right? The upper regression band, which we're not even close to that right now. So the friendly neighborhood bears can come out and have a field day and take Bitcoin to the 20-week moving average whenever they feel like it. Is this important to us? No, we don't really care because we recognize that this is par for the course. It's business as usual for Bitcoin. It's nothing out of the ordinary at all. The nice thing is watching Bitcoin do exactly what we said it was going to do in terms of generally moving up over the macro scale. Again, I cannot predict short-term moves. As I've said many times, I think they're a random walk, geometric Brownian motion. I will often say things like what I think could happen, right? Like instances of accumulation phases. This was one at around $10,000. We said we think this is a accumulation phase, not a distribution phase before heading back down, but an accumulation phase. We identified the next accumulation phase, right, which took place between $10,000 and $12,000. And honestly, I thought there was a good chance we were going to spend more time between 12 and 14K, but we haven't. Not yet anyways. There's still a chance we go back down and revisit it. I mean, there's always a possibility that we come up and then come back down, hold the 20-week, and continue on our merry way, right? This is always a possibility. And don't discount this possibility just because Bitcoin is moving up quickly, because there's been plenty of times when Bitcoin moves up quickly and it still corrects back down. So it's great, right? It's great times. We're in great times right now because Bitcoin does seem very bullish. It could easily break out above 16K and go higher. But we want to be pragmatic about our approach and recognize, what? This is okay. We're going to see these types of moves throughout the market cycle, and they're par for the course. And when the day comes, and there will be a day, there will be a day, you'll wake up one morning and you'll see Bitcoin down like 10%. And the key thing is just to not panic. Look to see, where is the 20-week moving average? Has Bitcoin broke it? If it hasn't broke it, then, is there even any point in getting out of bed for it? If it has broken it on the weekly time frame, then historically speaking, a lot of altcoins will bleed against Bitcoin. And I still think we're on track, even in the scenario where Bitcoin falls below the 20-week moving average, which I know a lot of people have a hard time imagining right now. But even in that scenario, we're still very much on track, right? We're still trending up. Even though Bitcoin has had a lot of volatility to the upside and the downside, over the last couple years, it's still just trending upwards. And this is the important piece to take away. This is the important part to remember, that there's going to be volatility to the upside and the downside, but at the end of the day, Bitcoin is on the same path it has always been on. And that is why we're here. We're here to take advantage of that volatility, and we recognize the fact that, we have these key accumulation phases every cycle, key accumulation phases. We're also going to have blow-off tops, right? We're most likely going to have blow-off tops. Now, the top, the longer it takes for us to get there, I think the higher it can go. If Bitcoin were to go to the top immediately, then it shows it would probably be between 51,000 and 76,000 in terms of its peak. So theoretically speaking, if Bitcoin just went absolutely insane over the next, say, 6 months or something, I don't think it would make it to 100K. However, if Bitcoin were to take longer and slowly, and slower, move up slower, not slowlier, then I think, it has a real shot of breaking 100K. So this is what we're looking at. We're going to be here every step of the way. If you guys like the content, please subscribe to the channel. Give the video a thumbs up. Also, check out the Telegram channel in the description below. Remember, we have the premium list. I was doing some maintenance on it recently, so you were not able to sign up for the monthly fiat subscription. it should be back up and working now. So if you want to buy access to it, you can do so. You can pay with crypto for 6 or 12 months and get a 15% discount if doing it for 12 months. You get access to 7 different things. We've just added one new thing that I'm currently adding. You get access to weekly reports, weekly videos. You also get access to all the old weekly reports and weekly videos, which I think do a good job of standing the test of time. You get access to the private Telegram alerts channel, the private Telegram chat room, the risk dashboard, which is what I use to trade and take advantage of bubbles. Never let a good bubble go to waste. And also the strategy dashboard, which is how you can anticipate various selling strategies and their performance. Finally, I'm starting to add some of the TradingView indicators to the premium list. So for instance, I've started adding this bull market support, which is nothing more than the 20-week SMA and the 21 EMA combined and shaded the region between. That is now being added to premium subscribers. And also, if you guys are wanting this regression band and you think, oh man, this would be nice if I could have this regression band, note that you will get access to it if you sign up to the premium list. It might not be immediately because I'm slowly working through adding everyone. There's a lot of people to add, but you will get access to the logarithmic regression bands, and then you can just pull it up yourself. You'll essentially just go to you'll click on indicators and strategies, and you'll go to invite only scripts. Okay, and I'll just add your username, and then you can access the script that way. And then you'll see some of these different indicators pop up. That way you can access them and see where things are, even when I'm not doing a video or a live stream. And that's what I think that's important, right? Because at the end of the day, we all, we're in the market cycle. We want to make money. I would hate for you guys to, if you're on the premium list, I would hate for you to miss out on a key move just because I'm not doing a video at the time. So to be pragmatic about that, it's probably important that you guys have access to these indicators that you've come to really enjoy. So with that said, now I'm starting to add the indicators as part of the premium list. So again, check it out, intothecryptoverse.com. That'll wrap it up for the video. Please subscribe if you guys like the content. Help me get to 50,000 subscribers, and I will see you next time. Bye.